When Dawn was young, really young, the kind of young where she didn't feel the need to lie about her age, a man whisked into her life, quick as her namesake. She thought he was intriguing. He was all lower jaw and hips, always talking. He, in return, thought that she was the prettiest thing that he'd ever seen. And so, intriguing and the prettiest thing acted out of mutual helplessness. They went out, ate food, talked at length. One time, they held hands. Her mother loved him like a favorite son, like Dawn was always in his shadow, but she didn't mind. In the entry, she had someone who didn't blatantly stare at her like she was a balloon, delicate, full of air. Most of the time, she had someone who didn't just fill the silence with the space in between his ears, and one time, she had someone who offered her the world, and she accepted it, even though she already had her own. She forcibly reshaped the confines of her consciousness to be him-shaped. His shape was firmly defined and crisp. Both of them knew exactly where he began and ended. He was him and nothing else existed in him, but she blurred around the edges. Her outlines changed till her shadow and his were indistinguishable. Sure, he loved her, but he loved her as a male loves, not as a human being loves. Always is and never crept into his vernacular like quiet sighs crept into hers. Within months, every action was conventional. Soon the word woman lost what little meaning it had and simply turned into the opposite of a male. He grew and she shrank until Dawn was a shadow herself. He got under her skin and found he liked it there. Found he liked the ability to manipulate her actions without fear of the fire that still hid in the middle of her chest, in the base of her skull, in the hollows between her wrists and hands, and the spaces on either side of her spine. He twisted and mutated until he was a sickness on her. She withered under his onslaught of words, of fists. Who cared? Didn't they know? Sickness is the means by which an organism frees itself from what is alien. The sick get better or they die, and Dawn had no intention of dying, and so one day she parted him from his crisp lines and brittle shadow. She tore that which was hers away from him, and she remade herself from the heap of half-broken things they called their relationship and would have liked to call their future. She freed herself of what was at one point familiar but had soured with time and steady application of resentment. She hurt him like he had hurt her, except where his incursion had been slow and drawn out, hers condensed and hit him like a cannon of kitchen knives and bitten back spite. He fell in a spray of what she had thought was hers. She stood over him, triumphant for once in her short life, and Dawn, with her rose-red fingers, rose up to begin a new day.